some of the things when you were reinventing yourself, which I like that concept. Because there's a lot of people out there that say, you know what, I need to like shake the dust off of all the stuff that I've done up until this point and reinvent myself. Walk me through the metamorphosis of kind of what's the first thing, what's one of the concepts that you had to really look at first?
Well, the first thing you do is take an accounting of your weaknesses, where everybody knows where they're weak and what they've been making excuses for themselves for. You just really stop and be honest with yourself. I know that I'm making excuses in this area of my life. And it really just comes down to facing that. And for me, I was a very shy person. I hated calling people on the phone, even if these were leads that had said, hey, give me information about your business. I would sit there for hours at my desk, fiddling with my spreadsheets, go out and buy a new headset, whatever I had to do to not pick up the phone. And I knew that was not acceptable, and that was not going to get me the result that I wanted. And it was ironic that, I don't remember who told me this, but someone did, and I never forgot it, is that a lot of times we're willing to do for other people what we're not willing to do for ourselves.
Right.
And at that time I wasn't willing to do that for myself. I wasn't capable of having the discipline or the courage to do that. So I went out and I got a job recruiting surgeons that basically required me to cold call 200 to 300 doctors' offices a day.
Wow.
And I did it with the sole intention of acquiring that skill set and getting over that fear. And I did, they sat me down on day one. My cube was empty other than a telephone and a binder this thick with doctor's offices. They start here and dial. And by the second day, there was no more phone fear, because there's no one more brutal on the telephone than a surgeon's gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Try to get a hold of a surgeon through a nurse, or someone else, and it's not an easy thing to do. But 2 to 3 days later, I was the king of the phone. There's nothing in the world that could scare me.
So it didn't take you long?
2-3 days. And again, it just all of a sudden it came down to the fact that, I was willing to do it for my new boss in this new environment, and all of a sudden it's just like, I'm here, I have to do it. And then boom, it was over. So that was number one.
And let me talk about a few things that I hear out of that.
Yeah.
One is that a lot of people in network marketing, they say treat this like a business. One of the phrases I heard from a gentleman, his name was Antonio Adair, great concept. He said, treat this like a job.
Right.
Until you're making enough money to treat it like a business.
Right.
Because if you treat, what you had to do is you treat it like a job. There's nothing else to do. You had to go do it.
Right.
But then when in network marketing, there's all these other things that can get in the way, and I have the sniffles, or my cat got sick today, I don't feel like it, whatever.
Yeah.
Go buy a new headset, all that other kind of avoidance behavior. Second thing is, you said you were a shy person, and I will tell you, just about every top income earner I know is fairly introverted. Not every, but I would say probably 80%.
Right.
They're shy, introverted people that just figured out a skill set and went after it.
Right.
And made it happen. The third thing that I heard out of that is have some self-awareness and evaluation of what are the things that you need to figure out in order to be able to be successful.
Right.
What are your limiting beliefs, and then what are your deficiencies in skill? Because there's only a half a dozen, right?
Sure.
That you have to master here inside of network marketing in order to be able to be world class.
Absolutely.
And none of them are, brain surgery.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to go to 10 years of school. You just have to spend 3 days making 200 or 300 phone calls and get over your phone call fear and move on with it, versus deal with phone call fear for the next 5 years. And be frustrated.
And I can't. That was my biggest regret, is that I spent 5 years trying to find a way around this fear instead of just dealing with it head on.
Through it.
And most people, by the time you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, who are getting into this industry for the first time, already have these skill sets. I was 18, 19 years old at the time, 20.
I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of people that never had that skill set because they're in a profession that didn't require them to interact with people every day, or they only had to interact with 3 or 4 people that they really knew well.
Sure.
So that a lot of people haven't developed a certain skill, and when they come in to start a new business, it's a different skill.
Yeah.
So okay, so one is you kind of examined your fear of talking to people.
Sure.
Okay. What else did you do to kind of reinvent yourself?
Well, the next step is fear of personal selling. Interaction in the real world, not on the telephone. Not being shy in front of someone. A big thing for me was, here I am in my early 20s, why is someone in their 30s, 40s, or 50s going to take me seriously? What the hell?
So you had an insecurity
What
there.
the hell do I know, about business,
right.
and how am I supposed to sponsor someone like that? So the first technique worked so well, I went and did it again, and I got a job in Dallas again with an outside sales company selling broadband telecom services to high-rises like we have here.
So did you just get a job just to work there for a little while?
Yeah.
Just literally to face the fear.
Just to get the skill set.
So then you said, thanks for for having me. I made my 600 calls with the telemarketing thing. You're done.
Well, I mean, I was there. I stayed there to, obviously had to pay the bills and
Polish
the money.
skills. Okay, so you had a little bit of a job there while you were working.
Probably I think for about a year or so.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that money went to leads and training and all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so and let me back up by asking a different question. We have this debate all the time. Are we in the selling business? Are we in the marketing business? Are we in the sharing business? What do you think?
I'd have to say I have a saying that I guess I wrote in Magnetic Sponsoring years ago, and I kind of sum it up like this: is that network marketing is an industry of marketing and promotion, pursued by people who typically do not know how to market or promote.
Okay.
And
so you think it's a marketing business?
Well, I think it's a marketing and promotion business because typically we have tools provided to us that do the selling.
Yep.
In the end, it is selling.
And third party is so important to get any duplication in organizations. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like if you can give me a tape or a CD or a presentation of what kind, that's going to do the selling. And so my job is to use marketing and promotion to get that tape out to 10,000 people.
Right.
Whatever may be, the internet.
I like that.
The website. So that's kind of how I see it. Is we don't have to be personal salespeople per se. We have to be expert promoters, and to take an existing sales message like a sales letter that we deal with in internet marketing, and how can we promote that now and become effective at marketing that message?
All right. So I interrupted you. So back to you faced fear number 2, which was going out there and personally persuading somebody to do something that they hadn't done.
Yeah. So basically it entailed coming up to high rises in downtown Dallas, getting past the security guard at the front, starting on the top floor, and then start knocking on doors and selling our broadband service. And tell the security guard.
It gives me the willies just thinking about it.
I hated
my God.
I hated every single moment of it, and I wanted it done and over with as fast as possible. That one lasted a month or 2.
Oh.
But again, by the time I was done,
but you got past. I mean, it was different, right?
Absolutely, and it was worth it. And that's the one thing about this industry is. I mean, if your passion and your goal is strong enough, I was literally willing to do anything to make it in this industry. And there was another point.
Now, again, do you think it's industry or profession?
Oh, I've never really thought.
Just say profession.
Profession.
Because it is a profession.
It is. It absolutely.
This is what we do, guys. It's not a lotto ticket. There's lots of different industries: cosmetic industry, and nutritional industry, and all these other industries inside of our profession. But what we do is we are network marketing professionals. All right. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's true. I mean you can't expect to earn a professional's income without actually becoming a true professional at it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right. So you got past that. Now you're gaining some personal power.
Right.
And you're starting to feel stronger about yourself. When somebody else says, "Oh, I'm worried about this," you say, "Look, relax.
Right.
It's not that big a deal. I've been through it. Come on, let's just go handle it."
Right.